Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dia Davidson. Chris Goodman has the afternoon off. After a week of extreme heat, meteorologist Tom Ackerman is now tracking some active weather. So let's get right to him for your storm tracker forecast.
Yeah, that's right, Dia. The skies have basically opened up. If we can hear it in the studio, which we can, and this is soundproofed, you know it's coming down hard. And this is our live look downtown, our Lexington Financial Center live camera showing the torrential rainfall. So it's pretty much right on top of Fayette County, from Lexington running into northern Fayette County, the core of the heaviest rain and the potential for some of the strongest wind through northern Fayette County. It just came out of Woodford County, where we had some reports of some trees down, northwestern Woodford County, and we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. That goes through 12:15. You notice that polygon that extends from Fayette County all the way north to Cynthiana and then back to the southwest around Lawrenceburg. We'll likely see these storms tracking east and continue to see these warnings on and off through the afternoon. There's another warning from Adair County, Columbia, going over through Russell County. That goes through 11:30 a.m. Central Time for Russell County there. So a couple of areas that we're keeping a close eye on. And the biggest concern out of all of them would be damaging winds, 60 miles per hour. That's a time lapse of them as they've entered the viewing area. Hail up to an inch in diameter. Haven't had too many issues with hail, but just also torrential rain and frequent lightning. We have a severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect. They're already paring down the western counties, though, and as those storms march east into the afternoon, we'll pretty much be done with them here in Lexington, but our southeastern viewers will be dealing with them through the afternoon. So the future track shows the progression of these storms. As you get into the late afternoon, they're already racing east and out of here, so I think by dinner time, we should largely be done with this. We are rain cooled at 79 degrees in Lexington. It's still in the upper 80s out east, but that rain has really tamped down the temperature. So the heat wave is effectively over. Once this clears out, temperatures tumble into the weekend. It's going to be beautiful. We'll get you an update on the severe storms, continue to track those, and bring you your complete storm tracker forecast.
All righty, Tom, thanks very much. Condolences are pouring in for UK legend Mike Pratt. The former basketball star and broadcaster died last night after a battle with cancer. LEX 18's Ricky Sayers in Chevy Chase speaking with fans about what Mike Pratt meant to them.
It's a somber day for UK sports fans as they mourn the loss of Mike Pratt. We're here at Wheeler's Pharmacy, where so many UK sports fans meet. And, you know, Pratt is being remembered not just for the way he played on the court or his ability to entertain and inform on the radio, but simply for his kindness. He died last night after a battle with cancer. He played for UK in the late 60s, early 70s alongside his future radio partner, Dan Issel. He helped lead the team to 3 SEC championships. Later, he became a coach for years. Before returning here to Kentucky, he was the team's radio color commentator for more than 2 decades. Fans told us they loved hearing Mike on the radio. We spoke with a fan at Wheeler's who said he was lucky enough to meet Pratt a few times.
Very sad news. I mean, it just seemed like it was all sudden. I mean, I hate to hear it, and he was a good man. I've got the chance to meet him a few times. He remembered your name. He did not forget a person. I mean, I would walk down there, have my jacket on, but not have my name badge on, and he'd just be like, "Hey, Michael, how are you doing today?" You know?
You know, we've been listening to the calls to sports radio today. So many people have their own Mike Pratt story. He meant so much to them. In Lexington, Ricky Sayer, LEX 18 News.
Ricky, thank you. Now to an LEX 18 update on a story that we are following this week. A man accused of stabbing his co-worker at a Lexington business has been arrested. Earl McVeigh was arrested Wednesday, 2 days after an incident at the Old World Timber on Versailles Road. Officers say the victim spotted McVeigh running towards him with a knife, and he was stabbed twice in the chest before getting away from McVeigh. The victim told police he didn't have any prior issue with McVeigh, but he has been charged with assault. Louisville police have charged a man with a weekend shooting and left 6 people wounded. Police say 31-year-old William Thompson was one of 2 shooters Saturday night at the city's Big 4 pedestrian bridge. Investigators say it all started when Thompson's 9-year-old son was shoved off an electric scooter. And that sparked a shootout involving another person. 5 teens were wounded, some seriously. Thompson's son was also grazed by a bullet. Thompson is now facing 6 counts of assault. Police have not released any other details on the other shooter. Another U.S. community grieving after yet another deadly shooting. A man opened fire Thursday at a church in Alabama, killing at least 2 people. This as senators continue to hash out the details on new gun laws. Amy Kiley has your details.
A lot of people are going to be hurting.
A lone suspect entered a small group church meeting and began shooting.
An Alabama community is grieving after a deadly shooting yesterday evening.
What we need is for this community to do what it's really good at, which is coming together to take care of each other.
It happened around the same time senators negotiating the text of a gun safety bill missed their self-imposed deadline. They're pausing talks for the weekend. The latest shooting may remind them of the continuing threat.
I promised that once the text is done, I will put it on the floor as soon as possible.
Now it's unclear if the Senate will be able to vote on gun safety next week. The framework has enough Republican support to pass the Senate if lawmakers agree on the bill's details.
I think we're in a better place in terms of the grants to states that have crisis intervention programs.
I think Senator Cornyn thinks what I believe, which is that the American public is not going to accept nothing as an answer.
One sticking point is whether states have to spend red flag law funding on red flag laws. Those prevent people considered a risk from having firearms. Another involves the boyfriend loophole. It's about whether an unmarried partner can have guns if found guilty of violence against a dating partner.
If there's a little give on both sides, we can get it done.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A U.S. district judge says Senator Rand Paul has refused to speak with her about a privacy bill being considered on Capitol Hill. Judge Esther Salas' son was shot and killed outside her home by a disgruntled attorney who had appeared in her courtroom. The new bill would ban making the private information of federal judges public. But Senator Paul has reportedly blocked it several times, saying he wants members of Congress to be included in the protections. Salas has reportedly tried to stop Senator Paul outside a hearing Thursday, but she says he told her to make an appointment through his office. Salas says she tried but was denied that appointment when she called. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron got a boost to his gubernatorial campaign last night. He picked up an official endorsement from former President Donald Trump. Cameron tweeted the official endorsement letter last night that reads in part, quote, "At every level, Daniel has stood out. He will be a great governor of Kentucky and has my complete and total endorsement," end quote. Cameron announced last month his plan to run in next year's governor's race. He is among 5 Republicans vying for that job. The state Supreme Court decision could mean Kentucky police will need a warrant if they want to track a suspect's cell phone location. In the 4-3 decision, the court ruled police were wrong when they got a robbery suspect's real-time location using cell phone data without a warrant. The majority ruled that under the Fourth Amendment, there's a reasonable expectation of privacy when it comes to a cell phone's location. Chief Justice John Minton likened the police tracking of the suspect's phone without a warrant to, quote, "a technological trespass," end quote. January 6th committee has invited the wife of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to talk about her efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Committee chair says the panel wants to hear more about her emails and text messages with high-ranking Trump and Pence officials on ways to reverse President Biden's victory. Jenny Thomas told one media outlet that she looks forward to speaking with the committee to, quote, "clear up misconceptions." It's not clear if that would be part of a public hearing or behind closed doors. After years of legal battles, Julian Assange could soon be heading to America to face serious charges. The British government approved extradition orders today for Assange to return to the U.S. Assange fled the U.S. after leaking thousands of secret government documents online to WikiLeaks in 2010. Now he could face a trial in the U.S. on 18 charges, including espionage. WikiLeaks officials say they will appeal today's decision and take the matter to Britain's highest court. A day after a meeting with some of the top powers in Europe, Ukraine is inching closer to joining the European Union. The European Commission, which is the executive arm of the EU, recommended today to make Ukraine a candidate to join the group. Today's announcement is just the next step in a process that could take years to complete. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said today the new development will bring his country closer to defeating Russia. Well, it was a historic weekend in Washington, D.C. The first all-female honor flight from Kentucky touched down in the nation's capital. Jennifer Hornbeth caught up with 3 of the 134 veterans who were thanked for their service and sacrifice.
Phyllis Gutting. I was one of the only females that was an instructor that taught the instructors. Cindy Moore.
I was in the 807th Combat Support Hospital, and it was a MASH unit.
Dee Robinson.
I was a hospital corpsman. 3 women of 134 bound together by their military service and an unforgettable trip to Washington, D.C. with Honor Flight Kentucky.
Through smiles and tears and laughter and crying, the emotionalism of the entire experience was quite overwhelming to realize we had sisters in arms who had experienced so much of what we did.
I think maybe the most impacting, only because of what all was involved, was the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier,
where guards keep a constant watch.
When you look at it, all the white crosses in Arlington, and I hadn't been to D.C. before, but I had never really thought about it like that. All the soldiers that had given their life, their very life for our country.
And then we went to the Vietnam Women's Memorial. That was exceedingly touching because when you realize over 58,000 people, service people, were killed in Vietnam, 8 women.
The Marine Corps War Memorial for the 21-gun salute.
At the end, they said, any of you young ladies like to come up for a photo op? And, of course, everybody rushed the stage. These all bring just tears to my eyes. Look at these. It just goes on and on and on.
Mail call offered sincere words of thanks from all ages.
Dear hero, hello, I'm so glad to have you. You are my hero.
All I can offer is thank you. You're my hero. You are in my thoughts. You're in my prayers.
Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for helping break the barrier and setting another great example for young women all over the world.
What was it like to be in the presence of so many female veterans?
I think that's kind of hard to explain because you just feel like you're with family.
They hug you and they don't even know you, but they know what you are, that you serve the country, that you love your country.
We all had independent feelings of solitude that we found were universal amongst each other.
And when they returned home,
when we got in Lexington, oh my.
So many people were there, like 1,800 people. And here's this 4-star general giving us roses and shaking our hand. I thought, wow.
And there were people probably at least 10 to 20 deep.
This isn't why they chose to serve.
You do it for your fellow man. And if you love your country, you want to protect it.
And cherish it, as they will this trip and their service and sacrifice.
There was no rank, nothing to compare. We were all soldiers on the field.
And truly appreciated. Jennifer Horbelt reporting. If you would like to help Honor Flight Kentucky bring more veterans to the nation's capital, you can donate to the effort online at honorflightky.org. And just a quick programming note, LEX 18 News will be online for several hours today. NBC will be covering the 2022 U.S. Open Championship from 4 until 7 this evening, so we will be streaming LEX 18 News live online. You can find our newscasts on the website, lex18.com, the LEX 18 Facebook page, and all of the LEX 18 smart TV apps and streaming services. We will be back on air at 7 for Evening Edition. Nightly News with Lester Holt will air at 7:30. Severe thunderstorms have arrived, and most of our viewers are seeing some rough weather right now. Storm tracker meteorologist Tom Ackerman tracking your full forecast. That's next. But first, for our lottery players, tonight's Kentucky Mega Millions jackpot, $273 million. Saturday's Kentucky Powerball jackpot, $279 million. You got to play to win. We're back in 2.
Comfort Heating and Air, what's wrong?
Comfort Man, my house is a sauna.
Never fear, Comfort Man is here. Right now, get an AC tune-up for only $89.
Oh, thank you, Comfort Man.
I'm on my way. Oak Factory is overstocked and having a store-wide sale. Sofas starting at $849, recliners at $769, entertainment centers at $499. Everything in the store has a marked-down price. Shop Oak Factory, Brannon Crossing, Nicholasville Road.
Red Ball Gaming and Racing has everyone's favorite, most exciting games. For more than 20 years, Wheel of Fortune games have paid out more than $3 billion in jackpots. They've made more than 1,000 millionaires. Now, Red Mile is adding Wheel of Fortune games. So take a spin to find your jackpot. Visit redmileky.com for details.
Wheel of Fortune is a registered trademark of Califon Production Incorporated. All rights reserved.
I was driving home from practice, and I remember seeing this car coming right towards me, and a huge, loud... I knew with my injuries that I wasn't going to be able to play. Having my career cut short by a drunk driver was the worst part of my life. I knew if there was, one firm to get me justice and to get me compensated for that, it was going to be Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan has definitely really helped me in the toughest, darkest moments of my life. Those guys were there for me. I'm Chandler Parsons, and I chose Morgan & Morgan.
Spectrum presents Stream Home Makeover with JoJo.
We transform the Joneses' home, upgrading their entertainment experience with the best TV and internet services from Spectrum. Let's go. With Spectrum TV, you get your favorite channels and streaming apps, plus tons of on-demand.
Switch to Spectrum TV and internet for only $49.99 a month each with no contract. Call 1-844-480-4713.
Ready for more? Take a look. With the free Spectrum TV app, you can stream live sports, news, and more on all your devices, inside, outside, and on the go.
Wow, that's awesome!
There's more. We powered up the game room with Spectrum Internet, which gives you the fast, reliable speeds you need to power all your devices. And it comes with free security suite, so you can feel completely safe and secure.
Switch to Spectrum TV and internet for only $49.99 a month each with free modem. Call 1-844-480-4713.
Give your home a Spectrum Stream home makeover. Call now.
Comfort Heating and Air, what's wrong?
Comfort Man, my house is a sauna.
Never fear, Comfort Man is here. Right now, get an AC tune-up for only $80. On the way. The Kentucky Lottery, providing over $4 billion in grants and scholarships.
After days and days of relentless heat, we are getting absolutely swamped. And on top of that, we've got severe storms to track. This is our Keeneland live camera, and it has been picking up on this torrential rainfall for, well, pretty much all of the lunch hour here. And if we get a closer look at the max track, you can see the core of the heaviest rain is now shifted east, and all the lightning, frequent lightning strikes, and the potential for strong to even damaging wind gusts is now shifting east of Fayette County, from eastern Fayette County, running up through Cynthiana, Harrison County there, and pretty much all of Bourbon County is in on this, and as well Winchester, an absolute downpour, frequent lightning as well. Now, in addition to the rain and the lightning, you want to watch out for wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour and also some hail. Haven't seen too many reports of hail. We've definitely had some wind damage out there. So the severe thunderstorm warnings continue to get expanded east. They now include Carlisle and east towards Stanton. So the National Weather Service just issued another one. So pretty much following this cluster of storms, tracking east around about 30 miles per hour, we'll continue to see these warnings more than likely into our eastern Kentucky counties, even after they clear Fayette County. So we'll keep you up to speed on that through the afternoon. There's a second, less impactful, but still dangerous storm down to the south. There's a severe thunderstorm warning out for it. That goes Russell County until 12:30 Eastern time, 11:30 Central there. But you can see the whole line as it came in this morning and really just blossomed over Fayette County into that secondary strong but weaker batch as you head into our southern counties. So those are going to drop into southeastern Kentucky. We've had reports of wind damage. A lot of it's been out west, but they're starting to trickle in, a number of them around parts of eastern Franklin County, eastern Anderson County, around Lawrenceburg. And again, as you head farther south, we had some reports of trees down northwestern Woodford County there. And you've got these narrow bands of just absolutely torrential rainfall. We're seeing rainfall rates of upwards of about 2 to 3 inches an hour, just dumping. So no surprise, our marginal risk for severe storms from earlier this morning was upgraded to a slight risk. And now we've got to deal with those storms tracking east, and boy, have we cooled down. We're not in the mid-90s, challenging record highs now. It's 71 degrees in Lexington. It's 72 in Frankfort. Check out Jackson. The storms have yet to get to you guys. You're pushing 90 degrees. So that rain definitely has a cooling effect. Of course, dew points are still pretty muggy. The heat wave is effectively over. It's canceled until further notice. There's still a heat advisory out for far western Kentucky, but even that's being pared down. And out of all that heat this week, we hit one record high in Lexington. It was 95 degrees Tuesday. We missed Wednesdays by 2 and yesterday's record high by 1. But we did set 4 warm lows in a row through the week, Monday through Thursday, we only got down to the mid to upper 70s for lows. That's called a record max low or a warm low. Just that you don't cool off overnight because it's so incredibly warm out. So here's the nosedive. Into tomorrow, these storms are out of here. We've got less muggy air. We've got cooler air in places. It's going to be beautiful. And then, boom, next week, temperatures take off again like a rocket. So these showers and storms will drop southeast. Even by dinner time, there may be a few lingering, but I think most of them will be done by then. It's mainly an afternoon issue for us. And then here comes the clearing. High pressure ridging in from up north. We're in great. But it's just a break from the heat. Started the weekend off with the storms. That high slides east, that big upper high clamps down, and here comes the heat again. So as far as the 3-day forecast is concerned, I'm going to continue to monitor these storms into the afternoon. We will likely see additional severe thunderstorm warnings, but notice the rain chance by the hour rapidly dropping off. By mid to late afternoon, we're pretty much done in the bluegrass, and by early evening, they should be out of our far southeastern counties. Saturday, upper 70s, Sunday, upper 70s, beautiful days, weather to take advantage of because here comes the heat again. Now, the one saving grace next week is the dew point may not be as high, may not be as muggy, as stifling, but still the heat is up there. We could hit upper 90s, even challenge triple digits for the middle of the week.
All righty, Tom, thanks so much. Here's a follow-up on this week's COVID vaccine news. The FDA has officially approved 2 vaccines for children as young as 6 months. A panel of outside vaccine experts voted unanimously this week to approve Pfizer's vaccine for kids 6 months to 5 years and Moderna's vaccine for kids months to 6 years. FDA endorsed the decision this morning, leaving the ultimate decision now up to the CDC. If they approve the drugs by Saturday, shots could be ready for kids to start getting as early as Monday or Tuesday. Well, new research shows the Omicron variant is less likely to cause long COVID when compared to Delta. This is according to research from Britain's King College London, published yesterday. They looked at more than 100,000 COVID cases and found nearly 4.5% of people who test positive for Omicron had COVID symptoms that lasted a month or longer. Those with the Delta variant were more than twice as likely to face long COVID. Long COVID symptoms include fatigue, brain fog, headaches, heart issues, and other health problems. And the Consumer Product Safety Commission has pulled more than 400,000 pill bottles from store shelves due to child safety concerns. According to the CPSC, the over-the-counter pill bottles are too easy for children. Brand acetaminophen. Tag Kroger or Walgreens for information on the best way to dispose of the bottles and, of course, get that refund. One of the biggest names in beauty has declared bankruptcy, plus T-Mobile is offering the cell phone customers some help at the gas pump. LEX 18 News at noon continues after the break.
What makes Febreze car vent clips different? Febreze has steady release technology. Just click, install, and boom! Febreze uses your fan to circulate freshness that won't overwhelm or fade for up to 40 days of consistent scent. Febreze car.
I've been telling everyone, the secret to great teeth is having healthy gums.
Crest Advanced Gum Restore detoxifies below the gum line and restores by helping heal gums in as little as 7 days. Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America.
Your HVAC system runs every day and needs proper care to maintain peak performance. Call today to sign up for the ADA Assurance Program for routine maintenance and other perks, which will save you even more money.
I was sitting at a red light, and this guy's looking at his phone instead of where he's going. Bam! He rear ends me. I need a lawyer, and I need one who thinks my case is important, not another file in the pile. I called the Kentucky Courage Lawyers at 855 Wildcat, and they got me a settlement even better than I had hoped.
After a car or big truck wreck, call the lawyers with Kentucky Courage.
Call 855 Wildcat. Morgan, Collins, Yeast, and Salyer.
Summer is here. Look your best with Hourglass. Don't mess with messy mascara in the pool. Get $100 off a full set of eyelash extensions. Have sun-kissed skin without the damage. Buy 4 spray tans, get 1 free. Call or learn more at hourglasslex.com.
This is where worry turns into relief. Where confusion. This is where your family can turn to the experts for the big things and the little things. Extraordinary care is right here. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Rosa Ocean Fragrance by Prada.
When your back pain is your foot's fault. This is Dean's story.
I had back pain, and I honestly didn't know where to go.
Until a friend suggested the Good Feet store.
She had to explain to me the feet are connected to the back.
And get this.
As soon as I put on those Good Feet arch supports, the pressure lifted off my back. It's like finding that missing puzzle piece. Like, yes, this is it.
Stop by for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Download the free LEX 18 Storm Tracker weather app today. You're watching LEX 18 News at noon.
Wall Street will try to finish off a rough week on a positive note after slipping into a bear market. The Dow down nearly 5% this week, and the S&P 500 as well as the tech-heavy NASDAQ both down more than 6%. Sell-off is being blamed on several economic reports that are falling short of expectations, plus the Fed raising those interest rates. Fewer Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week, but the number is still more than what economists had expected. The latest data from the Labor Department shows initial unemployment claims dropped by 3,000 last week to 229,000. That's about 15,000 more than what the experts predicted. Continuing claims rose slightly last week to 1.3 million, but still remained near a 50-year low. Rising costs are apparently forcing many people to rethink everything in their budget, even food. BBC surveyed more than 4,000 people and found 56% of folks report buying fewer groceries than usual. Same percentage reported skipping meals. 81% of people in the survey say they are concerned about the rising cost of living. More than half say they would try to work more hours to earn more money to make up the difference. 45% say the rising cost of living has negatively impacted their physical health. T-Mobile has an extra perk for its cell phone customers, a quarter off each gallon of gas. The company announced the savings during a virtual event Thursday as part of a suite of new incentives for customers. They're offering T-Mobile subscribers 25 cents per gallon off up to 20 gallons of gas at Shell stations. Offer begins for current customers Tuesday. U.S. airlines are trying to get things back on track a day after more than 1,500 flights had to be canceled. Carriers blame staffing shortages and bad weather for the majority of the cancellations. Ironically, the canceled flights happened the same day Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg called on airline CEOs to lay out their plan to operate smoothly the rest of the summer. Beauty company Revlon has filed for bankruptcy, blaming heavy debts on supply chain issues and the surging cost of supplies. The 90-year-old company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this week. They say they expect to receive $575 million in loans, which will allow them to keep running their day-to-day businesses. Revlon sales fell 22% from 2017 to 2021, and shares of the company have fallen more than 80% in 2022 so far. Thanks so much for joining us today at noon. LEX 18 News at 12:30 is next.
LEX 18, streaming local news 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.
Grandma? Up for a road trip? Yeah.
What do you say we pack our things and get out of here? I've been saving all my life just to disappear. Can I hold you to that? We could see the world. 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 See the world.
Plan your trip at ohio.org.
At Golden Law Office, our attorneys previously represented the nation's largest insurance and trucking companies, handling cases involving serious personal injury and death. We know their strategies, how they will defend the case, and what factors drive large settlements. The attorneys at Golden Law Office can use this inside knowledge to ensure your case is handled effectively and aggressively. Hiring Golden Law Office provides you with a strategic advantage. Call Golden Law Office today.
Guys, it's hot outside.
And when your air is on, your money's gone.
Keep the outside outside.
And the inside inside.
With precision engineered windows from the Window Source.
Stay cool this summer.
And stay away from those high utility bills.
You can get a price right now at windowsourceofkentucky.com.
Super efficient windows
that won't break the bank. Are we ready for this?
What's next, Grandma?
Hayden, do you want to cut the banana?
Okay, let's do it.
Look at him. Now comes the best part, the bluebell ice cream. Oh, that's fun. Hey, how about some chocolate? And some sprinkles.
How's this, Grandma?
That looks so yummy. You know, your mom is going to love this. Don't forget a spoon.
Between work and my family's busy schedule, I can't be there for Mom 24/7. That's why I called Family Choice Home Care. During my free in-home assessment, Family Choice helped me realize that long-term live-in care would be the best fit for Mom. They were more affordable than the other agencies, and I knew the cost up front. Family Choice takes care of Mom's day-to-day schedule, meals, medication, and housekeeping, but most importantly, my mind is at ease knowing that Family Choice will be there for Mom at all hours. I don't know what I'd do without Family Choice Home Care.
The legendary Kenny Woods Gun and Knife Show is coming this weekend to the Kentucky Horse Park. Bring your friends and family, rain or shine. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Everything for the lovers of the right to bear arms. Kenny Woods Gun and Knife Show, proud supporters of the Second Amendment.
Severe weather is pounding parts of the bluegrass this afternoon. This video is from our viewer Tom in Georgetown, who took this from his back deck just before noon. And as you can see how hard that wind is blowing, bringing down some big branches out there. Lots of trees going down. Now that storm is part of a big system pushing through the area. Let's get right to meteorologist Tom Ackerman for the latest.
They have been tracking it across western Kentucky, at least since earlier this morning, and now, of course, here at lunchtime. We have had just an absolute hammering from storms, heavy rain, and quite a bit of wind. Now, things are starting to simmer down here in Lexington. You can see that heavy rain from earlier has tapered off. We've got light rain hanging in. But the core of the heaviest rain and the severe potential has pushed east. Pretty much anywhere along this line, expect the potential of wind gusts up to or over 60 miles per hour, hail up to an inch in diameter, torrential rain and frequent lightning. And we just got this mishmash of warnings. They're just plugging them in for pretty much all the storms that are now east of Lexington. If you are in our eastern counties, these storms are heading in your direction, so get ready for them to blow through. You'll likely have some tree limbs down, possibly some damage to power lines as well. Over the past 12 hours, rainfall has been torrential as well. This is radar estimated, but we're showing anywhere between 1 to about 2 inches of rain following the track of these storms as they work their way east around 30 miles per hour. Here is the map in motion, all the warnings that we've had. We've also got additional warnings down south towards Somerset that we're going to check out. But they're paring down the severe thunderstorm watch, western counties. It runs through this afternoon for our far eastern counties. But over the next couple of hours, that severe threat will continue into our eastern Kentucky counties, and we'll continue to watch it. We are at a rain-cooled 71 in Lexington, still in the upper 80s in our eastern counties. And once we get done with the severe storms later on today, we are heading for a complete 180. The heat wave is briefly over. We'll talk more about the severe potential and the heat that'll crank back up into next week.
All righty. Thank you, Tom. A lot to look forward to. Well, we have seen a lot of shortages over the past couple of years, and it's been a big concern in the healthcare industry. As LEX 18's Mike Valente shows us, one Kentucky healthcare worker recently took her story to lawmakers in Washington, D.C.
Neurology resident Molly Bates entered her residency under a cloud of uncertainty, having to do an already strenuous job in a pandemic.
I don't want to say once-in-a-lifetime experience. I hope it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I hope this doesn't happen again.
Now finishing up her second year of residency at UK, Bates says there are shortages everywhere in the hospital.
Well, there's never enough hands on deck.
The Association of American Medical Colleges warns that the U.S. faces a shortage of between 37,800 and 124,000 physicians by 2034 that could be exacerbated by rising rates of physician burnout and early retirement due to the pandemic.
Like, our patients are having to wait 6 months to get in for a visit to see me. I'm having to see 7 stroke alerts at the same time. I'm having to work 66 hours a week, like minimum.
Frustrated, Bates went to her supervisor.
And I was like, what in the world is happening? Like, this is not acceptable. We can do better as a society. We can do better as a hospital.
She ended up applying to Neurology on the Hill, a conference in D.C. where neurologists from around the country meet with lawmakers and advocate for reform. It just so happened that this year they were set to implore lawmakers to pass the Resident Physician Shortage Act of 2021. Bates sat down with several members of the Kentucky delegation, including Senator Rand Paul, who she said wanted fixes to Medicaid first.
Basically, he was very receptive to the bills that we proposed that didn't require additional funding.
According to a report in the Lancet Psychiatry, 1/3 of patients diagnosed with COVID-19 may develop psychiatric or neurological disorders within 6 months. Bates says lawmakers need to meet the urgency of this moment, but she's also tempered her expectations.
I feel like there's more of a chance to make an impact, I guess, than I did before. They're actual people that you can sit down and have a conversation with. That's nice. But I'm not going to be able to fix Medicaid single-handedly.
In Lexington, Mike Valenti, LEX 18 News.
We heard stunning testimony about former President Trump's attempts to pressure Vice President Mike Pence into rejecting the 2020 presidential election results. This as the January 6th committee continues to give the public a behind-the-scenes look at the day rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol. Bree Jackson has been following the hearings for us.
A vice president under pressure.
What the president wanted the vice president to do was not just wrong. It was illegal and unconstitutional.
During the third public hearing of the House committee investigating the Capitol insurrection, testimony centered around former President Trump's failed attempts to pressure his own vice president to overturn the 2020 election results, an illegal strategy pushed by Trump attorney John Eastman.
It is unambiguous that the vice president does not have the authority to reject electors. There is no suggestion of any kind that it does.
Trump's inner circle testifying about taunts and heated conversations after Pence refused to carry out demands.
It was a different tone than I'd heard him take with the vice president before.
I remember hearing the word wimp. Either he called him a wimp. I don't remember if he said, "You are a wimp, you'll be a wimp."
Never before seen images show Pence sheltering underground as rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol, making phone calls to Pentagon and congressional leaders. The mob coming within 40 feet of the then vice president as he was rushed to a secure location.
We're fortunate for Mr. Pence's courage on January 6th. Our democracy came dangerously close to catastrophe.
Republicans call the hearings a distraction.
What are they focused on? What gets their primetime billing? It is their seething hatred for Donald Trump and anybody who's ever supported him.
Committee members say Trump's pressure campaign contributed to the January 6th attack, putting Pence's life in danger that day and making the case that the danger to democracy still exists. In Washington, Bree Jackson for NBC News.
There are strong storms in the area, but once they're gone, we'll get a break from the heat. Storm tracker meteorologist Tom Ackerman has all the details up next. Stay with us.
When a student lacks basic needs like food, clothing, and learning materials, attending school can be a challenge, and that can make it impossible to thrive. At Communities in Schools, we address this issue by ensuring that students have everything they need to re-engage in learning, access to technology and school supplies, and even emotional support. By bringing communities of support to students, we're achieving equitable learning conditions, and that's what Communities in Schools is all about. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org.
The Kentucky Lottery, providing over $4 billion in grants and scholarships.
Inside Edition, weekdays at 4:30 on LEX 18.
America, home of the free. Free is our favorite word. Like free refills. We get it. That's why at Morgan & Morgan, our fee is free. That means you don't pay anything unless we win your case. Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
It's free!
Summer is here. Look your best with Hourglass. Don't mess with $100 off a full set of eyelash extensions. Have sun-kissed skin without the damage. Buy 4 spray tans, get 1 free. Call or learn more at HourglassLex.com.
The July 4th sale at P-Rats is going on now. Save up to $700 when you get a king mattress set for the queen price, starting at just $799. $300 price drop on a Sealy plush pillow top queen set, only $999. Plus, get a free power base upgrade, free bed in a bag, and free delivery. Over $1,200 in savings, as low as $20 a month. Doorbusters like an Ashley hybrid mattress with free power base upgrade, $599. Plus, up to 6 years financing.
Nobody beats P-Rats.
In a wreck, you need an attorney who knows how to fight and knows how to win. WeWin.com.
WeWin.com.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs. We'll fight day and night to get you the money you deserve.
WeWin.com. WeWin.com.
And with over $1 billion recovered for our clients, we know how to win.
WeWin.com.
These are just a few of the verdicts and judgments we've gotten our clients, including a $10 million big truck jury award.
WeWin.com.
WeWin.com.
It's our Rad Dad Hour with Joel McHale. We're all new, and it's sizzling.
Today at 2 on LEX 18.
I was talking earlier this morning about how we were starting to edge into drought into western Kentucky and really drying out. Well, this has certainly turned that around, at least in the short run. We've still got light rain falling, but the severe threat continues across eastern counties. Hail, damaging wind now stretching from just west of Maysville down through Owingsville. As you get south of Mount Sterling around Jeffersonville, torrential rainfall. This would where you'd be likely to see some potential wind gusts up to, if not over 60 miles per hour. And look at all of the severe thunderstorm warnings that are out. Pretty much if you're along this line, consider yourself warned that you've got that potential for damaging wind. And that really has been the primary threat. That's what I've seen the most of as far as storm reports. Trees down primarily. But this entire line is pushing into eastern Kentucky. There's also a secondary batch down south. And you start getting into these broad warning polygons here where they just bump a county out because they know the storm's going to maintain its intensity and eventually get to you. So from London down through McQuarrie County, there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect as well. This cluster of storms around Somerset tracking off to the east as well and could create some damaging wind gusts. Now, on the back end, we've still got lingering lightning and rain, but the leading edge right here is where that severe potential is. And storm reports, well, they're becoming more numerous. You have a cluster of wind damage reports as you get down south around Casey County, Russell County, from Frankfort, eastern Franklin County down through Lawrenceburg, and the majority of these are trees down. We've had rainfall, just torrential. Look at Frankfort. Now, this is not radar estimated. That's the gauge, almost an inch of rain. And radar estimates in those bands were anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. The other update that we've got, the severe threat has been amended. Marginal to slight, now an enhanced risk for severe storms eastern counties. That means you are likely to see storms that will produce damaging wind gusts. We're going to continue to track this into the afternoon into our eastern counties as it heads east. Then that goes all the way to the coast. So these storms are going to pick up speed and run east toward the Carolinas and as well toward the mid-Atlantic and continue to cause problems as we go through the afternoon. It is 72 degrees. We've cooled down considerably. The dew point still in the 60s and 70s, but consider that heat wave nixed. It is over until further notice, meaning next week we still got that heat on the way. And we talked briefly about this. We set one record high earlier this week with all that heat. We only had one record high in Lexington. We had 4 mornings in a row with record warm lows that just did not cool down. We're less muggy. We are cooler into the weekend. That is your moment of reprieve there. 2 days before the temperature takes off like a rocket again next week. Your cold front drops south. The showers and storms diminish. By later on this evening, we should be done with this. Late afternoon, I think a lot of them will be moving out of eastern Kentucky. And then we're in the clear pretty much the rest of the weekend. High pressure is ridging in. There isn't a whole lot to show you, which is good. But the problem is we've got that big upper high building in. That's going to clamp down and start to put us back into a situation where we are just baking. Now, it may not be quite as muggy as this last go-around, but it could end up hotter. So the shower and storm threat pushing into eastern Kentucky. You notice it rapidly dropping off. This is specifically for Lexington. So by later this afternoon, we should start to dry out. But those storms will linger late afternoon and then exit this evening out east. The rest of the weekend into next week, we are high and dry. There were hints that there may be some storm chances trying to come our way, but right now that heat, I think, may overwhelm it. We could very well make a run to match what we did this week and maybe even go a little more, upper 90s near triple-digit highs.
Thank you, Tom. Well, out west, new satellite images show the destruction caused by the Yellowstone River flooding. These were taken Wednesday. A vital bridge along the Gardner and Yellowstone rivers is destroyed, and another bridge crossing the Yellowstone River has also been washed out. Meanwhile, the flooding in Gardner Canyon is so intense it has altered the Gardner River's course. Parts of Highway 89 along the banks of the river have disappeared. The National Weather Service says water levels could rise again as more snow melt is expected. Still ahead, a cosmetic giant has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So could that be a sign of more things to come? Details when LEX 18 News at 12:30 continues.
My husband was a teacher on the way to school. A utility truck skids on ice and hits him head on. We find out later that driver's boss warned him, don't drive the truck in that weather. But he did. I called 855 Wildcat for the Kentucky Courage Lawyers.
When we make drunk drivers pay, texting drivers wait, and big trucks slow down, we make Kentucky safer for families.
Call 800-55-WILDCAT. Morgan, Collins, Yeast, and Salyer.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Ever been diagnosed with osteoarthritis? Or worried about the risks involved with knee surgery?
It hurt all the time, like the nerves were rubbing against each other.
I was at the point of either replace my knees because I'm tired of this pain.
Get the relief you need without surgery. We're Arthritis Knee Pain Centers, the premier leaders in non-surgical knee pain treatments. Instead of surgically replacing your knees, our state-of-the-art procedures replenish the depleted natural cushioning in your joints with an FDA-approved shock-absorbing gel, without surgery and without downtime.
After the first injection, I knew it was going to work.
We've successfully treated thousands of patients. Medicare and most private insurance cover this procedure.
Full motion, no pain, walking, everything just back normal like it used to be.
Now, with locations in Lexington, call 1-800-211-2919 for a free no-obligation knee pain assessment or go to arthritis.kneepain.com.
Your next great adventure is closer than you think. It could be a journey through the past, exploring new territory, seeing your world from a totally different perspective. It might mean trying something unique for the very first time, or adding experiences you'll cherish your whole life. Discover Moorhead, home to Cave Run Lake, and the start to your next great adventure.
Sleep Outfitters gift card giveaway days. Get up to $300 on a MasterCard rewards card, yours free with any mattress. Get up to a $200 gift card with any Sealy mattress, starting at just $229. Get $200 with all Stearns & Foster mattresses, starting at $30 a month, or $300 with all Tempur-Pedics, starting at $32 a month, with interest-free financing for up to 5 years. Get free delivery and setup, and up to $300 free. Only during gift card giveaway days. Now at Sleep Outfitters.
Think for a moment. You don't hesitate to have your eyes tested, but what about your hearing? Hi, I'm Marcia Mattingly. At Beltone, we've helped thousands of people live richer, fuller lives by showing them that they can hear the way they should. If you feel you're not hearing or understanding conversation and others say your TV's too loud, call our friendly staff for a quick and painless hearing test. You might be surprised at what you're missing. 60 years and 3 generations serving the tri-state with the most trusted name in hearing aids, Beltone.
Start your morning laughing with Kincaid and Dallas on K92.9.
Cosmetics giant Revlon has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company has been a household name for nearly a century, but now it's struggling to keep pace with the latest celebrity-backed cosmetic lines. Newsy national correspondent James Packard explains why this has some questioning whether it could be a sign of what's to come.
Beauty mega brand Revlon is going bankrupt. The company is filing for Chapter 11 protection this week in the first major bankruptcy of a rocky economy many experts think could be headed for recession.
Whether we technically get to a recession or not, we don't know. But we think it's going to, unfortunately, be heading in that direction.
The company blaming supply chain for its woes and its complicated financial structure for its inability to adapt. The move, sparking concerns more bankruptcies could be on the way, as the president calls out shipping companies for raking in profit while overwhelmed ports struggle to get goods off to stores.
The Senate passed legislation. I'm hopeful the House is going to act soon to crack down on these companies, as I've asked, and lower the cost.
And while companies like Revlon drowned in supply shortfalls, big retailers like Target find themselves having overstocked and correcting by selling items for half the cost, eating into profit.
Inventory's a tough one. It's tough to get right. It's clear that a couple of the big retailers may be miscalculated.
But some experts say the problems we're seeing now started well before COVID started its deadly spread.
Really around 2018, we began to see issues with supply chain, in part because of trade policies, and then with COVID.
And now, as the Federal Reserve greenlights the biggest interest rate hike in almost 30 years, big companies know consumer spending is going to drop.
If a lot of people stop buying goods and services, demand suddenly starts to go down, right? And if demand starts to go down, prices, are going to go down as well.
The hope, of course, is that the higher interest rates will cool off white-hot spending, a corrective action for a Fed that many experts say waited too long to right the ship.
They're behind the curve. They know it. And the only way they're going to get there is by taking these larger steps toward interest rates that are not stimulative to the economy, but can instead be used to bring inflation down.
Hopefully, it will let companies dragging behind a scuttled supply chain get back on track and ultimately avoid repeats of Revlon's fortune.
I think the consumer is going to be increasingly choosy, increasingly frugal.
The reality of it is, with inflation at a 40-year high and interest rates that were at record lows, a recession may be the price we have to pay to get inflation under control.
Lyft has agreed to a $25 million settlement with shareholders after being accused of hiding safety problems. The securities suit was filed because investors accused the rideshare company of not disclosing reports of Lyft drivers assaulting female passengers. Because the omissions of possible assault came before its initial public offering, Lyft was accused of trying to appear more socially responsible than its rival Uber. The settlement agreement is pending approval by a federal judge in Northern California. Lyft continues to deny the allegations and has not responded to a request for comment. Well, coming up, your pet of the day from the Lexington Humane Society. We will meet Tippy next.
The line between caregiver and family member, when it gets blurry, it can be so exhausting, and Trilogy is there to be the caregiver so you can continue to be the family member and enjoy these moments with your loved one. We are there to make sure that they are safe, that they are comfortable, that they are healthy, that they are enjoying their time, and that way you can come and enjoy your time with them.
There are 7 Trilogy senior living communities in the Lexington area. Visit us online to find one near you. Trilogy, where family comes to live.
Scan this, get this. That's a voucher for an extra $2,500 for your vehicle. It's the all-new Paul Miller Buyback Advantage, the newest and hands down the easiest way to sell your car. For a limited time, Paul Miller is buying all vehicles and paying more than book value for them. See just how much more you'll get for your car, plus your voucher for $2,500 more than book value. Scan the QR code right now and come shop more pre-owned inventory than anywhere else in Central Kentucky. Hurry in and get more at Paul Miller Ford and Paul Miller Mazda.
Oak Factory is overstocked and having a store-wide sale. Sofas starting at $849, recliners at $769, entertainment centers at $499. Everything in the store has a marked-down price. Shop Oak Factory, Brannon Crossing, Nicholasville Road.
Hepatitis C? Don't just treat it. Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C? Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Tonight, Amber Heard one-on-one with Savannah Guthrie. Her first interview since the trial against ex-husband Johnny Depp. What you didn't see in the courtroom.
So you don't blame the jury?
The primetime exclusive interview. Tonight, 8/7 Central on NBC.
I was hypnotized.
LEX 18's Pet of the Day, sponsored by Southern Barker, reserved for the dog.
In Maryland, a couple of dads who called themselves the Bus Stop Pops gave a group of elementary school kids a special end of the school year send-off yesterday. The dads have been working hard to make the school year fun after their daughters started kindergarten this year. As Jennifer Franciotti reports, they surprised the children by wearing different costumes each week.
Last day school picture. All the kids in the picture.
The last day of school is always exciting, but for these Jacksonville elementary students, the bus stop has been fun all year thanks to two dads who call themselves
Bus Stop Pops. We're just two dads with a little bit too much time that want to make our kids laugh.
And they do it by surprising the kids, wearing different costumes each week. Adam Clement and Nick Jones met when their girls started kindergarten this year, and a friendship and an idea was born.
Our bus actually picks our kids up, goes down the street and passes us back by, so we normally sit there and wait to wave. We're joking around one day when they were coming back and saying, hey, wouldn't it be ridiculous if we were in some sort of silly costume for the kids?
And so it began. Each week, a different theme.
We did upside-down handstands. We've done gorillas. The Tyrannosaurus chasing the archaeologist. That was probably one of my favorites. That and the elf on the shelf.
And the water balloon thing with the pie in the face. I like the pie part the best.
Are they crazy?
Yes.
I think it's super cool. We didn't know what to think at first, but I think it's turned into something really special for the kids.
We never know what they're going to come up with, but every week they always end up topping the last, so it's pretty cool to see.
Boarding the bus for the last time, the kids head to the cul-de-sac to turn around as the Bus Stop Pops prepare their final surprise for the end of the school year. Great job, guys. Now only 11 more years to go.
It's not to the point where we're embarrassing our kids yet, but, it's going to be more fun once we start.
We all know we should eat our veggies, and today's a great day to do it. It's National Eat Your Vegetables Day. So crunch on some cucumber slices or pop a few peas on your plate. Veggies are often chock full of vitamins and minerals. U.S. health guidelines recommend 3 to 5 servings a day. Well, we are wrapping up LEX 18 News at 12:30 with our pet of the day. Natalie Moak with the Lexington Humane Society joining us now with Tippy. Such a pretty kitty cat.
Isn't he, though? So Tippy is about 10 weeks old. He's up for adoption here at our main adoption shelter. He doesn't have any restrictions. He is playful. He is going to climb and run and play and chase, and that's what he does best. So he's going to keep doing it. Just a reminder to everyone that June is Adopt a Cat Month, so you've got a few more days to come in and find your next best friend.
Is that what you would call a tuxedo cat? I have a black and white tuxedo at home, and he's so friendly.
He's not a normal tuxedo, but you could put him in a cute little tuxedo. That would be fun.
You could. Well, Natalie, thank you so much. And of course, if you want to check out, you can find out more information about him at the Lexington Humane Society's main adoption center on Old Frankfort Pike. Well, we want to remind you about some programming changes today. NBC is airing the U.S. Open today from 4 until 7, but you can still watch LEX 18 News wherever you are. We'll be streaming our live newscast at 5 p.m. and at 6 before going live on the air for Evening Edition at 7. BBN Tonight will not air at 7:30. NBC News Nightly News, will air in its place. Let's get a quick check of weather before we head out.
Yeah, Lee, still tracking severe storms, and look at how many severe thunderstorm warnings there are over eastern Kentucky. The threat has passed the bluegrass, but from Corbin and then northeast up towards Campton, if you're within these storms, the range of them, they're tracking east, expect the potential for 60, even near 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, damaging wind, and some dangerous storms now heading into our eastern Kentucky counties. They'll rapidly lose strength and move east. They'll hold strength, but move east and out of here by later on today. So we'll continue to track them and bring you updates as they work their way into eastern Kentucky. The rest of the weekend looking much more quiet, very pleasant once we shake these storms later on today.
Just in time for Father's Day. Thank you, Tom, and thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend.
LEX 18, streaming local news 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.
Clarity in healthcare, and for medical imaging, you want a clear idea of your cost. Bluegrass Regional Imaging can save you hundreds compared to local hospitals with no surprises. For CT and PET CT scans, contact Bluegrass Regional Imaging, your clear choice in imaging.